Some of the most valuable coins in America are not gold, not large, and not obvious. They are tiny old dimes that once passed through everyday hands, spent without a second thought. What makes this shocking is that a single old one-dime coin, no bigger than a fingernail, can be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars today simply because of a rare date, a small mint mark, or a mistake made at the U.S. Mint more than a century ago. Many of these valuable dimes were used to buy bread, newspapers, and streetcar rides, and most were worn away or lost forever, making the few survivors incredibly rare. In this video, we reveal the top 4 most valuable old one-dime coins, coins that collectors aggressively search for, coins that still spark unbelievable discoveries, and coins that prove life-changing treasure can hide in the smallest places. So let's get started. First up, the 1995 D-dime is one of those modern coins that almost everyone has seen, yet very few people truly understand. And that is exactly what makes it so fascinating to collectors today, because its value and importance are hidden behind its ordinary appearance. In 1995, the United States was deep into the modern era of coin production, a time when speed and efficiency mattered more than craftsmanship, and the Denver Mint was operating at full force to supply billions of coins for everyday use. The D mint mark on this dime tells us it was struck in Denver, where massive quantities of dimes were produced and released directly into circulation, with no intention of long-term preservation. These coins were used immediately in vending machines, parking meters, grocery stores, and daily transactions, which meant that most 1995 D-dimes were worn down quickly, scratched, or damaged beyond collector interest. Because of this, truly high-quality examples of the 1995 D-dime are far scarcer than the original mintage numbers suggest. The design itself honors President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a symbol of strength and leadership during one of America's most difficult periods, and his portrait appears calm and dignified on the obverse, while the reverse features the torch of liberty flanked by olive and oak branches, representing peace and strength. On many 1995 D-dimes, the strike quality is inconsistent, with weakness commonly seen in the torch bands and fine details, making sharply struck examples especially desirable. Collectors pay close attention to surface quality, luster, and overall eye appeal, and coins that survive in mint state with clean fields and strong detail are surprisingly difficult to find. What truly adds excitement to the 1995 D-dime is the presence of mint errors, which occurred due to the intense production pressure placed on minting equipment during the 1990s. These errors include off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, die chips, grease-filled dies that cause missing details, and occasional double dies that can only be seen under magnification. When authenticated, these error coins can be worth many times face value, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, proving that modern coins can still deliver big surprises. Coin roll hunters continue to search for the 1995 D-dime because it still appears in circulation, keeping alive the hope that a rare high-grade survivor or dramatic error could still be found today. Historically, this dime represents a period when the U.S. Mint was pushing its machinery to the limit, producing coins faster than ever before, often at the expense of sharp detail and consistency. Each well-preserved 1995 D-dime is a rare escape from a system designed to use coins up, not save them. As time goes on, fewer high-grade examples remain, and collector awareness continues to grow, slowly increasing demand for this once-ignored coin. The biggest lesson of the 1995 D-dime is that value is not always about age or silver. It is about condition, scarcity, and story. So the next time you find a dime dated 1995 with a D mint mark, don't spend it without looking closely, because what seems ordinary could be a quiet survivor with hidden collector value, waiting for the right set of eyes to recognize its importance. The 2016 D-dime is a perfect example of how modern coins can quietly carry future significance, even when nearly everyone overlooks them, because this small 10-cent piece was born in an era of extreme automation, massive production pressure, and rapidly changing coin usage in everyday American life. By 2016, cashless payments were rising, yet billions of coins were still required for vending machines, transit systems, and daily commerce, forcing the United States Mint, especially the Denver Mint, to strike coins at incredible speed. The D Mint mark on this dime tells us it was produced in Denver, one of the busiest minting facilities in the world, where efficiency mattered more than precision. The Roosevelt dime design, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, had become a familiar symbol of American money. Yet by 2016 the design was being struck under conditions that often sacrificed sharpness and consistency. Many 2016 D dimes show weak strikes, especially on the reverse torch bands, soft details in the olive and oak branches, and heavy contact marks from high-speed handling. Because of this, true high-grade examples are far rarer than people expect, and coins that survive with blazing luster, clean surfaces, and strong detail immediately stand out to experienced collectors. What makes the 2016 D dime especially interesting is condition rarity. Millions were made, but very few were saved in pristine condition, as most were dumped directly into circulation and heavily used. As time passes, worn examples disappear, while demand for flawless survivors slowly grows. Errors add another layer of excitement to the 2016 D dime, as modern minting equipment, despite advanced technology, still produces mistakes under intense pressure. Collectors have found off-center strikes, broad strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, die chips, grease-filled dies causing missing design elements, and other striking anomalies that transform an ordinary dime into a collectible treasure. These error coins are physical proof that even in the modern era, perfection is not guaranteed, and when authenticated, some 2016 D-era dimes have sold for prices that shock people who believe modern coins are worthless. Coin roll hunters continue to search for this dime because it is still commonly found in circulation, keeping alive the thrill that a rare error or high-grade survivor could still be discovered today. Historically, the 2016 D-dime represents a turning point in American coinage, produced during a time when coins were increasingly viewed as disposable tools rather than objects meant to last generations. This mindset ensured that very few were preserved intentionally, creating future scarcity that collectors are only beginning to recognize. The story of the 2016 D-dime teaches a powerful lesson. Rarity is not always about age, and value is not always about silver or gold. Sometimes value is created by neglect, by mass production, and by the simple fact that almost no one thought a coin was worth saving. Each pristine 2016 D-dime that survives today is a quiet escapee from a system designed to wear coins down and discard them. As awareness grows and populations shrink, these overlooked modern dimes may become the key dates of tomorrow. So the next time you see a dime dated 2016 with the D mint mark, don't dismiss it. Look closely at the surfaces, the strike, and the details, because in that tiny coin could be a future collectible, a modern survivor telling the story of speed, neglect, and hidden value in plain sight. Fire. At first glance, the 1983 D-dime looks like an ordinary modern coin. It's small, lightweight, and made of copper and nickel. Nothing flashy, no silver shine, no ancient date. Most people would never imagine that a dime from the early 1980s could be important. Yet among collectors, the 1983 D-dime is widely recognized as one of the most interesting and misunderstood modern U.S. coins ever produced. This coin was born during a time of economic pressure, mint shortages, production chaos, and historic changes at the United States Mint, and its story explains why modern coins can be just as fascinating as classic ones. To understand why the 1983 D-dime matters, we must step back into the early 1980s. The United States was still recovering from high inflation, rising production costs, and economic uncertainty. Coin usage was intense. Vending machines, laundromats, parking meters, and public transportation depended heavily on small change. The U.S. Mint struggled to keep up with demand, and quality control suffered as speed became the top priority. The design on the 1983 D-dime is the Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt symbolized leadership during hardship, guiding the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. By 1983, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for nearly 4 decades, but the way it was produced had changed drastically. Coins were no longer carefully struck one by one. They were mass-produced at extreme speed. The D mint mark indicates that this dime was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest coin production facilities in the country. In 1983, Denver produced millions of dimes under intense pressure. The focus was quantity, not perfection. As a result, many 1983 D dimes were weakly struck, heavily bag-marked, or released with imperfections that collectors now study closely. One of the most important facts about the 1983 D dime is condition rarity. Unlike many other years, very few mint sets were officially produced and saved in 1983, especially compared to earlier decades. This means that while millions of dimes were struck, very few were preserved in high-quality condition. Most entered circulation immediately and were worn down through everyday use. Because of this, Mint State 1983 D dimes are surprisingly scarce, especially in grades MS 66, MS 67, and higher. These grades require strong luster, clean surfaces, minimal contact marks, and sharp design details. Finding an example that meets these standards is far more difficult than most people realize. This scarcity has made the 1983 D dime a key date for collectors focused on condition rather than age. Strike quality is another major issue with the 1983 D dime. Many examples show weak strikes, especially on the reverse. The torch, symbolizing liberty, often lacks sharp vertical lines, and the olive and oak branches may appear flat or blurred. A sharply struck 1983 D dime with clear torch detail immediately stands out and commands a premium among collectors. Errors play a huge role in the fascination with the 1983 D dime. The high-speed production environment led to a wide variety of mint errors. These include off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted, broad strikes, caused by collar malfunctions, clip planchets, where part of the metal blank is missing, die cracks and die chips, which appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin, cut errors, where pieces of the die break away, and struck-through grease errors, which cause missing or distorted design details. Some 1983 D errors are subtle and require magnification to detect, while others are dramatic and instantly visible. When professionally authenticated, these error coins can be worth many times their face value, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity, severity, and eye appeal. Each error is a physical record of the stress placed on minting equipment during this chaotic period. The 1983 D dime is especially popular among coin roll hunters. Because it still appears in circulation, collectors enjoy searching rolls of dimes from banks, hoping to find a high-grade survivor or a rare error. This accessibility makes the coin exciting and keeps interest alive across all levels of the hobby. Another reason the 1983 D dime is so important is its role in changing how collectors view modern coins. For many years, collectors believed that only silver coins or very old coins were worth saving. The 1983 D dime helped challenge that belief. Population reports from grading services reveal just how rare high-grade examples truly are, despite massive original mintages. From a historical perspective, the 1983 D dime represents a turning point in U.S. coinage. It reflects a time when the mint prioritized speed and efficiency above craftsmanship. These coins show the effects of automation, worn dies, and rushed production. Every weak strike or error tells the story of a system pushed to its limits. As time passes, fewer and fewer high-quality 1983 D dimes remain. Coins are lost, damaged, or worn smooth. Meanwhile, collector awareness continues to grow. This shrinking supply combined with rising interest is exactly how overlooked coins become future collectibles. The biggest mistake people make is assuming modern coins have no future value. The 1983 D dime proves otherwise. Its value lies not in precious metal, but in scarcity of condition, historical context, and minting mistakes. It rewards careful examination and patience, qualities that define serious collectors. So the next time you come across a 1983 dime with a D mint mark, don't ignore it. Study the surfaces. Examine the torch. Look for errors, because in your hand, you may be holding one of the most important modern dimes ever produced. A small coin born from chaos, carrying a powerful collector story. If you enjoy uncovering hidden value, modern coin history, and real treasures hiding in everyday change, like, subscribe, and keep hunting. Sometimes the most powerful coins are the ones everyone else overlooks. At first glance, the 1996 P dime looks completely ordinary. It is small, lightweight, made of copper and nickel, and still easily found in circulation today. Millions of people have spent this coin without ever giving it a second thought. But what most people don't realize is that this dime represents a critical moment in modern U.S. coin history, a moment shaped by mass production, declining strike quality, hidden errors, and a surprising shortage of high-grade survivors. The 1996 P dime proves that modern coins can carry just as much mystery and collector potential as much older pieces. To truly understand the importance of the 1996 P dime, we must first understand where and how it was made. The P mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest and most historic mint in the United States. Philadelphia has been producing American coinage since the nation's earliest days, and for much of U.S. history, it did not use mint marks at all. By 1996, however, the P mint mark had become standard on dimes, clearly identifying the coin's origin. The mid-1990s were a time of massive coin demand in the United States. Cash was king. Coins were used constantly in vending machines, laundromats, parking meters, payphones, arcades, and everyday purchases. To keep up, the Philadelphia Mint operated at extreme speed, producing enormous quantities of coins every single day. In this environment, speed mattered more than perfection, and quality control often took a back seat. The design on the 1996 P dime is the familiar Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt was a symbol of leadership through hardship, guiding America through the Great Depression and World War II. He was also closely connected to the March of Dimes, making the dime the perfect denomination to carry his image. By 1996, this design had been in continuous use for half a century, yet the way it was struck had changed dramatically. One of the most important things to understand about the 1996 P dime is condition rarity. While millions were produced, very few were preserved in pristine condition. Coins were dumped into bins, transported in bulk, and released into circulation with little regard for surface quality. As a result, many 1996 P dimes were scratched, nicked, or weakly struck before they ever reached the public. Most circulated examples are worth face value, but mint-state examples tell a very different story. Coins graded MS 66, MS 67, and above are genuinely scarce. To achieve these grades, a coin must display strong original luster, clean fields, minimal contact marks, and sharp design details. Because almost no one saved rolls of dimes in 1996, high-grade survivors are far less common than the original mintage numbers suggest. Strike quality is another critical factor. Many 1996 P dimes show soft or weak strikes, especially on the reverse. The torch, which represents liberty, often lacks sharp vertical lines. The olive and oak branches may appear flat, and fine details can be blurred. A sharply struck 1996 P dime with clear torch detail immediately stands out and is far more desirable to collectors. These strong strike examples are rare and increasingly difficult to find. Errors play a major role in the growing interest surrounding the 1996 P dime. High-speed production at the Philadelphia Mint led to a wide range of mint errors. These include off-center strikes, where the design is shifted away from the center, broad strikes, caused by collar malfunctions, clip planchets, resulting from improper metal cutting, die cracks and die chips, which appear as raised lines or blobs, cut errors, where chunks of the die break away, and struck-through grease errors, which cause missing or distorted design elements. Some of these errors are subtle and require magnification to identify, while others are dramatic and obvious. When professionally authenticated, error coins from 1996 P can be worth many times their face value, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on severity, eye appeal, and rarity. Each error is a frozen moment in time, proof of a machine pushed to its limits. The 1996 P-dime is especially popular among coin roll hunters because it is still accessible. Unlike silver dimes or early 20th century coins, this dime can still be found in everyday change. That makes it exciting. Every roll of dimes carries the possibility of a high-grade coin or a rare error. This sense of discovery has helped drive renewed interest in modern coinage. Another reason the 1996 P-dime matters is its role in changing collector attitudes. For decades, modern coins were ignored. Many collectors believed that only old or precious metal coins were worth saving. Today, that belief has been shattered. Registry set competition and population reports have shown that modern coins in top condition can be extremely rare. As a result, collectors now carefully examine coins like the 1996 P-dime, searching for quality rather than age. From a historical perspective, the 1996 P-dime represents the full transformation of U.S. coinage into an industrial process. Automation replaced craftsmanship. Speed replaced careful inspection. These coins reflect the realities of modern manufacturing, and every weakness or error tells that story. In this sense, the 1996 P-dime is not just money. It is a historical artifact of late 20th century America. As time passes, the number of high-quality 1996 P-dimes continues to decline. Coins are lost, damaged, or worn down. Meanwhile, collector interest continues to grow. This imbalance, shrinking supply and rising demand, is exactly how overlooked coins become future collectibles. History has proven this pattern again and again. The biggest mistake people make is assuming modern coins have no future value. The 1996 P-dime challenges that idea completely. Its value lies in condition, errors, and survival, not in silver content. It rewards careful observation, patience, and knowledge, qualities that define successful collectors. So the next time you come across a 1996 dime with a P mint mark, don't dismiss it as ordinary. Look closely at the surfaces. Study the strike. Examine the torch and lettering. Search for errors, because in your hand, you might be holding a quiet survivor from an era of mass production, a modern dime with a powerful story hiding in plain sight. If you enjoy deep coin history, modern hidden treasures, and discovering value where others see none, like, subscribe, and keep hunting. Sometimes the most valuable stories come from the smallest coins.